Hello, this is Bethany from My Way Crochet LLC, and today we're going to be talking about the different sizes of yarn that you can purchase for your projects. As crocheters get started, especially with amigurumi, it's hard for them to pick out what size yarn and how to know what is the right yarn to use with their project. So we'll start with the smallest one. It's not the smallest that you can purchase, but this is the smallest one that I have. So as we look, we can see that this is a size 3 light. This would also be called DK weight or lightweight yarn, light worsted weight as well. And with this yarn, it's very thin, and you would use this more for knit or something very small that you want to crochet. If you are in a rush for time and you're going to try to use this yarn to make a blanket, you will be there forever. This is not the best yarn size to use for a blanket, but this is more for small amigurumi or maybe knitting a pair of socks. There are weights 2 and 1 lighter than this one. Weight 2 would be considered a sport weight, definitely good for knitting something like a pair of socks. And then 1 is the absolute lightest weight. This is a size 4. This is considered worsted weight. It's thicker, and you'll want to match this with your hook. So if you're crocheting a 4, it gives you a hook size for crochet of 5.5 millimeter, but amigurumi needs to be tighter. And so my rule of thumb when you're getting started is to match the number of your weight to the number of your hook. So here we have a size 4 hook. We're looking at 4 millimeter. And the letter might be used, but they typically don't use that 6 next to it. So it would be a size G 4 millimeter. As we go up in size, we go to a size 5. And this is typically a velvet or polyester type yarn. 5 is considered bulky. And this yarn is made for what they call plushies or semi-plushies. The benefits of this yarn is that it's super soft and it crochets very cute animals. Again, they're going to give you a hook size. This is more for if you're going to make a blanket. Amigurumi patterns, you would want to again match that 5 to start with your 5 millimeter hook. Here. The downside with these types of yarns is it tends to pull apart at the end. So as you're crocheting with it, pieces will fluff off and be all over you. But it's worth it. I'll show you a couple samples here in a second. Size 6 yarn. This is considered super bulky. And again, you would match this with your size 6 hook. A much bigger hook than what I've been showing you. And if you start with a size 6 and you realize you need to go down or up, they make these in quarter sizes, so you get 6 1/4, 6 1/2, and same thing with all of the other hooks. This is considered super plush, and it would make bigger plushies, super soft, super squishy, but again, because it's polyester, it pulls apart just like the velvet yarn did as well. It only pulls apart when you're crocheting with it. Once your item is made, it stays together. So these samples I'm going to show you are from my deviled egg pattern. It's new, it's in my Etsy shop. So this little deviled egg, this is worsted weight yarn. So this would be this size. And I used a size 4 hook. And this deviled egg was with the size 5 bulky yarn. So you can see the difference here in size. I had to go up a hook size for this one just because of the size of the yarn, and you get a bigger, plushier type of egg. I did one in bulky yarn. So this is our size 5 bulk or size 6 bulky, and the size difference is still pretty apparent, especially in my stitch size too. And I went up a hook size for this one. There you go, one happy family of deviled eggs. We have the worsted weight yarn, the bulky yarn, and the super bulky yarn, and you can see how this would change the size of your project. I showed you some examples of the amigurumi in the different weights of yarn, but here are a couple hats that I've crocheted. This hat was made with worsted weight yarn, this beanie, And you can see how many stitches I've had to put around. It's more time consuming. It comes up with a pretty clean product. And again, this is the size 4 weight yarn. This beanie probably took 3 or 4 hours to make just based off of the pattern and color changes, but also with a smaller yarn, you're probably going to be making more stitches. More stitches equals more time. This beanie is made with super bulky wool yarn. This was hand dyed. And you could see that the stitches are much chunkier. This hat probably only took me an hour to make. It's thick. It's much thicker and probably warmer than the worsted weight hat, especially because this yarn is merino wool. I hope that helps you choose your next yarn the next time you need to go to the store for your crochet project. Thanks for watching.